First Take Live with Garth Riley.
Good evening, welcome to First Take Live. Garth Riley here with you tonight. Well, we're going to be talking about incineration. It's a hot topic, burn baby burn. Can I just keep going with these things? Listen, the question is, what are we talking about here? We can't seem to get a straight story. So on tonight's show, we're hoping to get a straight story, or as straight as possible. First of all, we're going to visit with getting some information what the region has to bring to us, and we'll also be talking from a provincial level. We'll also be talking to the Green Party, and then we'll be talking to a consultant who basically said we're far too early in this. Hopefully we can get your calls in to say, hey, how do you feel about an incinerator burning toxins, digoxins, or whatever else into the air and right beside you? Can it affect you? Or is that wonderful trip that our politicians have taken over to Europe going to be coming back with wonderful news so that we can find out that it's all easy to do? Anyways, we want your calls on this hot topic tonight. We're talking about incineration. But before we could talk about that, let's go to the hot topics of the day. And here is our very own Mark Horton. Good evening, Mark. All right, so here you are, living in Clarington. You know, I don't know, maybe this is like the nuclear zone. Like we have a nuclear plant in Darlington, we got one in Pickering, the Remnant Incinerator, we got landfill sites. I mean, hey, Durham Region is a great place to live because, you know, any way you look at it, we get dumped on. Maybe this is the issue we should be starting to talk about today. It's about incineration. Joining us right now, I have, we're going to take some insights here. Doug Anderson, I have you, been a guest here before with the Green Party, and Angelo Bakopoulos is here as well, not with the Green Party. He's a project manager in environmental assessment for the project, really for York and Durham. Before we get started, let's sort of set up what everybody's position is here. Doug, you have an interest in this issue. Why?
I've actually, well, I used to be in the newspaper business where you know, I covered a lot of issues, and in this particularly it got me interested, and going back, probably 20 years or so. And fundamentally, I just think we've got it wrong. I mean, one of the biggest problems is that we all talk about the 3 R's, and the 3 R's are reuse, reduce, and recycle. The only ones that those we're doing is recycling. If we were to reuse things and reduce things, we would get rid of a lot of the garbage, the excess packaging, etc.
So no matter how we do it, you don't think it'd be safe. Let's go over to Angelo Bakopoulos. Angelo, thank you for that. Let's. Your position on this is what?
Well, first of all, let me say it is wonderful to live in Durham. I moved from Toronto a couple of years ago, and I live in Whitby, and it's a wonderful place to live. Let's just start off with that. I'm representing both Durham and York regions. I'm the project manager on the environmental study that they're going through to try to determine what to do with the residual waste.
You come to this project with a lot of experience. You come from handling solid waste management in Toronto for over 20 years.
That's correct. Actually, about 24 years.
Okay.
I was up until 2005. I was the general manager of solid waste management services for the City of Toronto.
Technology.
Well, let's go. Let's take a look from a provincial point of view. Joining us, MPP John O'Toole. Hi, John.
Garth, long time no see.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here with us today.
Not a problem.
And on such short notice, I want everybody to know that you made yourself available to us. So thank you for the late call, and you decided to come on.
Well, it is an important topic for Clarington, and
yeah, you think?
Certainly in Durham. And I've been watching. I've been to several open houses, and I have a copy of the report just recently. And
because it's been said that most politicians only see an executive report. But we got some really burning issues here. But I mean, we talked about ash. We talked about what the issues are going to be. I mean, we're not Pollyanna. I mean, obviously, we're going to have waste disposal. Doug, you can't be saying, brother, like, you know, don't do another one, because where are we going to pile this junk until we can change this? Or what are you thinking?
Markham has decided it's going to have zero waste by 2020.
Zero waste. Hang on a second. Let's just keep. Is that possible, Angelo?
Well, hey, let me tell you.
Well, hang on. You're making a claim. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
Let him go.
Go ahead.
You know, this goes back to where municipal, probably as recently as about 1920.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
I'm talking
I
said less than 100 years. And let me tell you an experience I had.
A population of what? Hang on, Doug. Wait, but you can't blow this. You can't do a politician thing.
Yes, you can.
1920. No, I'm not going to let you. 1920. Dude, I think we have a few more people.
No, okay. But let me take you to the 1950s, and actually, it still happens in rural parts of Ontario. the bubble
Okay,
packs,
yeah,
all that
get rid
kind
of all that stuff.
If we got rid of all that, he wouldn't have anything to
Angela,
burn.
jump in any particular
Well,
time.
okay. I want to take a position against both you guys, because first let me go.
What?
First, yeah, you wanted me to come after Doug. I'm going to come after you for a second, Garth, because one of the things she said was that. You know what? We're not doing enough in terms of diversion, and I did a bit of a study. I can tell you, Whitby, where I live in, some of the audits that we're doing are in the mid-60s right now.
Stand by. We're going to come back from break, okay? We're going to go off to break.
Sure.
All right, we're going to carry on with this hot topic, so we want to hear your phone calls. Let's talk about incineration. What do you guys think? How about one of those, put a roasted marshmallow over top burning plastic? We'll be right back with First Take Live right after this. All right, we're talking incineration issues here, and they're certainly a hot topic. And so we went to break. Oh, by the way, we had a caller. Yeah, but they didn't want to come on the air. They said GM had an incinerator program one time, and then they dismantled it because of high maintenance issues. Oh well, maybe there's an omen there. Okay, going back to it. So you were picking on me earlier on because you didn't think I had my numbers right, and 60%, or you would think we'd be number 6 if we were rated right now. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Pick on Doug.
Okay, I'm going to pick on Doug. Sorry, Doug, on the issue with York, I think you made a good point, Mark.
Welcome back to First Take Live. Good to have you with us. Listen, this idea of this incineration project or energy from waste, I mean, we really got to understand this. And the numbers and the information, when it's taken in part and not in whole, is confusing. You know, at best, some of the politicians are giving executive briefs, and that's all they're getting to take a look at this. So maybe it's not their fault, or maybe it is their fault for not looking at it. But when people take little excerpts and then try and make that the fact by which they base all the information on, is it the right facts? Joining me now on the line via phone is Clarissa Morawski. Now, she is based in Peterborough. She has a consulting service. She actually does research and analysis and communications, written many articles about this, and I think we need to investigate this, because what I'm concerned about here is that there's a spin on some of the numbers about how these guys are trying to sell it, and if we understood the numbers, we may be a little more outraged or a little more critical. Clarissa, what is it with the spin of numbers that's going on here in the information?
Well, what you've got is a bunch of proponents. I mean, this is big business, and you've got a bunch of proponents that really want to get these facilities built and financed by municipal.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think we've got to drive this point home, that what they're saying is that if trees contribute to solving the problem, and you burn a tree and you replace it with a tree, there's basically a zero.
That's correct. But of course, the one...
Take a look at this. We're coming back from break. And by the way, if you want to sleep easy, in spite of all that's bad news, go to see my friends at Master Bedroom. You need a good sleep. We're right back with First Take Live right after this. Welcome back. And listen, we want to thank you for being a part of the show. Thanks to the guests. Thanks to everybody for participating. Thanks to Paula Beebe for doing a great job. And you know what? We're going to see you next time, and we'll rev it up again. Thanks for watching First Take Live. Until next time.